Wednesday, the 31st of January, 2018. Welcome to Hump Day. We'll get into that in a little bit. Report from the town this morning, fair to good conditions up to a 4-inch base. We saw a dusting of snow today, nothing huge to talk about. And here we go, headed out to the trails. And these are the only two sleds I saw on the way out, and I did see a couple sleds when I was headed back in. Well, I keep hearing mixed reviews on what it's like, and is it good, is it bad, and I said, well, there's only one way to find out for sure. Go out and ride it yourself. So here we are. This is going out Trail 1. Went out 1, crossed over 3, went up to Pipeline. Now this is the camera that I usually wear, and I also took the camera that I do by handheld. And the reason I took two of them is because the one time I went out with this camera that I wear and I got back and was like, great, it didn't work. So here we are going out Trail 1, cross over the railroad tracks. And then when I got up to the Pipeline, I switched over to the other camera because this camera, you're looking through the shield. The shield has just a little bit of a tint to it, so it makes it look dark. So the other camera's a lot brighter. Forecast, well, long range forecast is looking good temperature-wise, and it does have some snow in it. So hopefully you get everything that they're predicting, and it'll help whip things back into shape. Here's headed up Pipeline. Here's a snurdy spot coming up. The high today was 22, and that's where we are now, and that at 8:30, and the low was 6 below this morning. This is Pipeline, and then here's going up Pipeline, and this is the first intersection I came to. This is Pipeline and Trail 8. And the next intersection we're going to get to is Pipeline and Trail 1. So what can I tell you? Well, for those of you that ride Old Forge and you know the trails where Pipeline and Trail 1 come together, how it can be ugly? No, it's ugly. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Anywhere where the trail gets narrowed together and it's really concentrated, it shows a lot of traffic, you're going to find some ugly spots. There's some snert right there. Here's Pipeline and Trail 1. And I was saying about Hump Day. Well, this year there's 17 weeks in the snowmobile season. So this week here pretty much puts us in the middle. So it's Hump Day of the snowmobile season. And this next section is going up Pipeline to Trail 1. This is where I was talking about, where it can get ugly. No, it's ugly. You'll be going along and trails look nice just like this, and then boink, you get a bad spot. And just that quick, you're back in the snow. And you go up around Independence Lake here and you head up further up 1. There were some spots that were snurdy. So I went up just a little bit further and I turned around and I headed back towards town. I didn't want to stay out too long because I just locked the door and took off. So here's still heading up 1 towards Big Moose. As you can see here, it's getting a little snurdy. And as I said, we get places where it really narrows down and gets concentrated. The sun got to it, it's going to be a little ugly, but just as quick, you get right back into stuff that's halfway decent. And then here's heading back down Trail 1. I went past Pipeline on the right-hand side. And down here on the right-hand side is where you make the right to go down Trail 1. Well, I just stayed straight, and I went down Trail 9 to 89. Headed back towards town. And then here's on 89. And this is Trail 8 I'm crossing over. There's the railroad tracks. And down Shanty Hill. And when I got down to where I should have made the left to cross over the railroad tracks to get to Trail 3, I wasn't paying attention. I drove right past it. So here's me driving past the trail that I wanted to turn on right there. So I did a U-turn. And you can see the snow's hard because, look at this, I'm just driving right up on the banks. Where before the meltdown and the refreeze, you would have sunk in. And that was what the problem was, is everything was so hard, there was no cooling for the slide rails and the engines. But that little bit of snow we got, it helped things out. So here's headed over towards Trail 3. There's the railroad tracks, and I said, what the heck. I made the right, went down the railroad tracks. For the most part, they were covered. I did come across a few spots that the rails were showing. I'll show you one spot right here. See, like right up in here. Rails are popping out. Then I came down here to Trail 1. I made a left on 1. Made a left on 3. Went out 3 to Wheeler Pond. Made a right on Wheeler Pond and headed back into town. There's Trail 1. I'm going to make a left and another left. So, I don't know what to tell you. There's no doubt in my mind, as you can see, it's rideable. Are you going to find some ugly? Yep, guarantee you will. Is it worth staying home? Well, that's your decision. You ride conditions like this and find some ugly, or you can sit home and ride the couch. I can say one thing with quite a bit of confidence. By the way the forecast looks, I don't think it's going to be melting this weekend. And here's Trail 3, and I'm making the right on Wheeler Pond, headed back towards town. So I know it's a little bit of a long video, but there's no other way to show you than just show you. So I hope you enjoyed it. I had a fun ride. I was going about 45 minutes. And remember, see ya.